Hey gals and gents, I'm back with you today just to share my tag for Carlenes October tag swap at pinkscrapper99.blogspot.com. So go check her out. The theme was BeLeaf in me, and you could do Thanksgiving or Halloween. Our optional challenge was to use leaves on it, and you're probably looking at it like, what? Leaves? I don't see any leaves on hers, but I did use leaves. Can't really tell, but this is a paper that I did use, and this is what's left of what I had, and it's so pretty. It's the great fall colors. So this is the paper that I did use. If you look at it close enough, you can probably see it. But I embossed my tag with this impression. And then I used my ceramic coat gold metallic ink from Michaels. And it's awesome. I love it. And that's how I did. I used a makeup sponge. Just a regular triangle makeup sponge, and I distressed the edges a little, and then I just, lightly coat it and then just swirled it all over. And I also used the gold on here and dabbed. See, this is what it looks like before. I don't know if you can tell after, but it's pretty. I like the gold look on it, so came out really nice. It's totally different. So let me see if I can come in a little closer. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's way different. And then same with the hands. See, you can totally tell with the hands. It's so different. But that's what I used. I tried to get the garlands, make sure everyone had their legs, but this was this one had one leg and then another had another leg, and luckily they're on opposite, so I took one from the other, and so this guy has no legs. But that's okay. So anywho, I used the gold ink on here, and then for the eyes I used that Studio G Stickles. Where'd it go? It's like a maroon color, but I love it. I got it last year, or actually this year, but I think it was in January or something, a while ago. And I used it on their eyes, and then I glued the flowers that I bought from Favor Pro on eBay, and I just lightly inked it on the edges, and it's so bright if you can see that gold on there. And then I cut and I glued it on the hands, on the outer side right here. And then I for the flower, this flower I used the Tattered Florals die from Tim Holtz, and I cut them out and did every other color, one orange and one black, one orange, one black, and so on. And some of them either will have, there's 3 of them that'll have an orange spider and 3 that will have a black. But I did ink it up with gold as well. I also used a purple ink around the edges, just lightly on the edges. You can't really tell. But there's a little bit you can see here. And then I hot glued everything together. And he's still hooked onto his noose. And I just attached it up here with the fibers. So I tied it up there. So if he was loose, he'd still be hanging. And then I used a regular sewing eyelet that I got at Michaels in the sewing section, because the holes are bigger than the other ones. And then I used Tattered Rose Crackle Paint, I believe it was. Yeah, the Tattered Rose Distress Crackle Paint. And then I just distress it with some Vintage Photo, and then that's it. I will put my little card just in case you ladies want to, you know, glue this in a book or something like that. And I'll just gonna put it in a candy corn cellophane bag, and then I'll just put my information. I have my blog, my YouTube, and my Etsy on here, and my little art design, and I'll go ahead and put that in the baggie, and I will send that off to Carlenes soon. I'm early, but I have a bunch of other swaps I'm doing as well, and it took me a while to get how I want to put this together, but I got it together, and I love it. But now I want to show you what I've been doing the last couple nights. I've been organizing my paper die cut. So let me go ahead and move this up a little more. So I have here, not to spill my coffee, I have here, so far I have 2 baskets. And you're probably like wondering, what am I looking at? And see, all these, it's in a little black crate that I bought at the dollar store. I was going to buy the manila envelopes to put them in, but I would have needed a lot. And they only come in a pack of 8 or 10. And, of course, there's tons of dies out there, and I'm like, I don't want to spend all that. So, I made my own little folders. And I alphabetized everything. So I can go like, let's see, cupcake dies. This is for my die cut swap. And I drew in pencil the little shapes that it comes with. And then on the top it says cupcake dies, and then I hold it closed with a clip. So I glued it at the bottom, I glued it in the center, and then it's got a flap up here, and then I could just go on in and pull out my pieces that I want. So I've got the cupcake, I've got the wrap, then I have the top, and then the heart. So I know where all my dies are because they were just stuffed in one of my 12 by 12 drawers, and of course I had a hard time looking for them. So I was like, I need some way to organize it. So I thought about doing this, but putting it in a folder, but then I realized how many dies I have from my swaps, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. So right now I have 2, and it's getting pretty packed. And these are just my paper dies, die cuts. My chipboard die cuts I'm going to have to do as well, but I'm going to get different color. And these are just printer paper, just regular old printer paper. And they're working really well for me. I did use my HEG gun at first, but then I was like, oh, I'm wasting my good tape. And so I just used regular tape to, you know, hold it closed because my die cuts are going to be safe. I also have other die cuts, like I have vellum envelopes in here. I've got a welcome sign. I've got like pre-cut die cuts that I already, you know, had bought and then just stuck them in here. So everything's labeled and has a picture. It's either glued on there or taped on there or just drawn on there. See, like this one, I did draw it, but then I was like, oh, I'll just use the negative for it. So as long as I have a picture on what it looks like these ones, this one's pre-cut, and they have, there's AB letters, there's a bus, there's a trophy, there's a roared ribbon, there's a grad cap, and a car. So I have that in there. You know, I've got several different dies, and I try to organize it as best as I can. Like this one, I just put Inspire and Smile because it's letter cutouts. So I just thought I'd share my idea with ya, what I've been up to with that. I am also,